Right.
Like the first video I think I made was called, I think it was called Hurting Myself. And and I loved YouTube poops when I was a kid.
You can't really put yourself into that.
Yeah.
And a big thing with content creation these days is like, not for all people, but like for a lot of, like for your common creator, to be a content creator, you kind of have to put yourself out there.
Yes.
A really good amount. You can't just post the stuff you're comfortable with. I mean, don't post anything crazy. There's another website for that, but... Welcome, everybody, to the Creator Show podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Watson, and we're here at Owl Radio, and we're filming here with Opossify. We got our guests here, guys. Give a little round of applause. Yeah, I know. To get into it, why don't you start off by telling us you have your YouTube channel. That's like your big thing.
Yes. I upload obviously on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, but YouTube is the one that's doing the best right now. I think with it being like more gaming related, it tends to do better on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
And I recently hit, was it 10,000 subscribers?
I know.
Like you tell 9-year-old me that, blows my mind. And it's just crazy, you know? This is like because with YouTube, I've been making YouTube videos for, I don't know, 10, 12 years, something like that, on a multitude of accounts. Yeah. And this is the only one that's had like...
This is the one that's stuck. That's actually done pretty decent.
Yeah, this is the first time I've made something that I was like, it's just whatever pops in my brain. And put it out there, and it's done well. I've only had one other account do pretty well. That was my last one. But obviously it didn't hit like... It didn't even get to like 3,000 subscribers. It was pretty... I mean, for me, I'm happy with that. Right? Yeah. But comparing it to 10K, it's like, you know. That's
and when you get in like, when you're at like 1,000 and stuff like that, you might have reached like the threshold of when you can start like earning funds. Of course, it's still like nothing per view, but it's like, it's something. But it's like you don't really start to make it to where it's like kind of a big thing until you get towards like tens of thousands of views and stuff like that, or subscribers.
Yeah. So with the account I have, Opossify, I actually technically am not earning yet, which is crazy because...
Is it the viewership for like the shorts and stuff like that?
Yeah. So there's two ways you can become a YouTube partner. I actually became a YouTube partner on my other account, which was literally just YouTube poops, basically.
Sweet, dude.
Pretty awesome stuff. And the reason why is if you upload long form content, you get like 1,000 subscribers, you're probably going to be, that's like all you need. Right. But with shorts, it's like you need 1,000 subscribers, but you need, I believe it's 10 million views in 90 days.
Wow.
So with my content, like
10 million, God.
Yeah, it's a lot in 90 days. So that's what, like 1/4 of the year.
And then how much do you think you're even making once you've reached the threshold? Like, I'd be curious to know.
Honestly, I'd probably be making more than my other account that actually did make money. I barely made anything on there. I couldn't even get to $100 in total. But I think, I don't know how much the shorts make. I'm actually curious. I'm working on a long form video now, which is why I haven't been uploading in a couple of weeks, because I'm like really trying to focus on that with everything else going on too. With school.
And this would be your first long form video on this account?
It would.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And my hope is that it can get, I think it's 4,000 watch hours.
I think it's that, yeah.
And then once I get that, I'll be able to monetize all the shorts, even though that, like, I didn't make the short threshold.
Yeah, maybe do like maybe 4 or, a couple like 30 to 25 minute videos, and then boom, you got it.
Yeah, like it doesn't even require, I mean, if you look at my shorts, my most popular short, which I think has 135,000
I think I had 170 when I checked last.
It's something crazy like that. It's unbelievable. The watch hours on that are like insane just from the short. It's like not even a minute. But it's like, I don't know, I guess shorts typically perform better than long form videos because they're they're spoon fed to you rather than you like clicking on it. Right. So I guess they're like, well, might as well make it 10 million views that you got to get. I'm like, yeah, sorry. That's not going to happen anytime soon, I don't think. Yeah, no, I feel like it might be even more because they're trying to like weed out the Slop accounts, the accounts where they just repost viral clips Yeah.
which is a really bad thing about social media in general right now, is just like clip farming and stuff like that. It's really, don't get me wrong, I probably eat that up, you know.
Yeah,
I probably lap it
we
up,
all
but-
do a little bit, you know. It's like a guilty pleasure almost, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, or just like re-uploading other people's stuff. I mean,
Right.
I made a Terraria video earlier last year that did pretty well on Instagram, and like 2 months ago, I think someone re-uploaded it, and it did way better than my video.
Really? Someone re-uploaded one of your videos?
Yes, and I actually commented on it saying, "Wow, who's that handsome chap right there?" You know? And
He was
then
like, you know, just like, oh.
yeah. And so in response, they hid my comment. So
They hid your comment? Wow, dude. Was this
shameless.
YouTube or?
This was on Instagram.
It's despicable.
Yeah,
it's
it is. You know, it's clips of me and my friends on Terraria taking that and running with it. It's
Hopefully I hope they implement some sort of restriction with that, because the moderation's like, something's got to happen with this.
Yeah, YouTube, if you actually, I don't know how it works with shorts, but I know with the long form videos, if you just like upload someone else's video, it actually detects it and then like emails you about it, that someone else did it, and you can strike them. It's happened to me a couple times with my YouTube poop account.
Oh, yeah.
And it usually was, they wouldn't re-upload it out of malicious intent. They'd be like, I really like this account, I just want you to go check them out. And I was like, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna hit you with the ban hammer. Or,
get out of here. No.
Yeah, that would be pretty. That'd be messed up.
Well, why don't we go more into like, okay, you got started on YouTube. What was your first account? What have you always? What have you? What is your history of trying to start on YouTube before Opossify?
It's a long history.
Because we all have our like. Most of us have our own little like kids YouTube channel.
I do. And It was just my first and last name. The profile picture was a picture my mom took of me sliding in the second base at a baseball game. I was like,
sick.
Like, it was sick.
Yeah.
And I think it was 2013 or somewhere around then. The account is lost media because my mother deleted it because I would upload videos of me doing like really stupid stuff as a kid.
Right.
Like the first video I think I made was called Hurting Myself. And it was
my God.
Not how you guys think it is, but we had a bunk bed and it was like, all right, I'm going to hurt myself. It was like Jackass basically. So I would jump off the bunk bed and lay on the ground like, oh, and I'd in the video and post it. And me and my friend, we would just refresh the page and watch it over and over again. And we'd be like, dude, the views are increasing. And it was like 20 views.
Oh my God.
But it's just the views were there because we were just rewatching it over and over again.
I can't believe Hurting Myself. Wow.
Yeah. No.
That's what we should. It would actually be really funny if we titled this episode.
Just hurting myself with Opossify?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a creative choice I'll make you do, dude.
Probably not, but it'd be kind of a funny throwback to that.
Yeah, to the classic first and last name YouTube account. I think my mom deleted it because my sister made an appearance in one of the videos and she didn't want to be in it, but I was like,
too bad.
Yeah, too bad. Like, we're trying to get
You're
famous
famous.
here.
Yeah, come on.
We're trying to start something here, and you're going to be like, oh, no, we can't do that. So big artistic plans got thrown out the window, deleted.
Yeah, I imagine, yeah.
Which sucks because that is my first account. So
it sucks that you don't have those like archived.
Yeah,
like,
but I have literally everything else archived.
Okay, so what's next after this account?
So in 2015, I made an account called Video Game Help.
Okay.
And the profile picture, because I was like a retro gamer, was the Space Invaders bad guy. Lowest quality possible. Actually,
perfect.
Still, my original email is connected to that account and still has that profile picture.
Awesome.
And I want to change it, but I'm like, I can't, dude.
It's just there too long.
It's tragic, you know? Like, I'd be deleting a part of me.
Yeah.
There's one video on that account. The whole idea was I was going to make tutorials on video games to help people who were
tutorial videos do really good. So I mean,
yeah, but they were made for people who were like really stupid, like me. So the one video I made was on Lumber Tycoon. It's a Roblox game.
A Roblox how-to game.
Yes, because I played Lumber Tycoon 2, classic game by the way.
Yeah,
and it was like how to get started. I think that's what it was, and it was just using the
as if tycoon games in Roblox were the most difficult thing.
Well, for me they were because I don't know. There's just something about cutting down a tree and selling it that was super confusing to me. So I was like, I'm going to help all the young gamers out there who are struggling like me to get started in Lumber Tycoon too.
Yeah.
And no microphone, just the built-in Roblox recording tool. And I just directly uploaded it. And I showed it off to my sister. I was like, yeah, that's me. I made this video.
Yeah. You get learned right here. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm helping the youth right now as a youth person. I was like in 5th grade, I think it was 2015. So that was the only video I made on that channel.
Oh, and that was it. You just did the one video of the Lumber Tycoon?
Yeah. So I've made a lot of videos on a bunch of different accounts, but it's typically like I'd make a couple videos. They wouldn't do good. And I'd be like, well,
you just give up.
I just give up. And that's the...
hey, you're trying new things though. Maybe
yeah.
that's what it was.
These different accounts that they cover completely different things, I feel like.
So you kind of had an obsession with like the whole YouTube content production type thing. Basically.
Absolutely. I still am. Like it's nothing inspires me more than watching just one person build like an empire of just creativity and like what they truly like are interested in, and then people love it, right?
It is truly like something that relies solely on the enjoyment of others, which is, it's like kind of sucks because the other time you might be making something really cool and you might be spending a lot of time and then nobody views it.
Yeah.
But like on the other hand, it's like when they do, it's just such a meaningful thing. Really.
It is the best feeling ever. It is like it is an addiction. Once it like hits, you get like that first successful video. It is
now you're
like
locked in. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Like you just gotta, that is the obsession.
Yeah.
At least for me. I mean, I don't know if everyone else feels that way, but whenever I make a successful video, it's like my week is made. Best week ever.
And what's between your Roblox how-to video or how-to account and now?
Like the other accounts?
Is how many other are we talking?
I mean, I could just talk about a couple of them, like the notable ones, but
there's a bunch more.
I mean, there's like maybe like 3 or 4 more.
Oh wow, okay.
I'll just talk about a couple of them. I'll talk about the YouTube poop one, and then the one before that was called the FNAF Fanatics.
So first, describe to the viewer, what is a YouTube poop?
Okay, so YouTube poop is this, like, it's a part of remix culture. That's what I like to say it is you take a popular form of media and then you remix it to your heart's content. You can do, like, you can adjust how, like, what they're saying by, like, taking, like, splicing together their speech to just whatever you want. You can add music, you can tell a story, just distortions, all sorts of crazy stuff. It's literally just a sandbox. You take something and then you make it your own.
Yeah.
And I loved YouTube poops when I was a kid, dude.
They were so good.
They were so good. Like, I mean, they're still around a little bit, but they've kind of evolved. They're a little bit more like...
Do you like the MLG videos too?
Oh, absolutely, dude.
So fantastic.
MLG Teletubbies, MLG, what were some other ones?
Shrek
Shrek
movie,
MLG. Yes, like just absurd editing.
Oh yeah.
And it's really funny to me because those people are just making this, it's literally called YouTube poop, right? It's just such a silly name, but they're probably the most talented editors at the time on the platform. They actually knew how to use Sony Vegas. They weren't just making, no respect to my GOAT Markiplier, but they weren't just recording gameplay and commentating over it. It was like fully edited.
Oh yeah.
And it was like, do that for like 3,000 views. Some of them did really well though, but most of them were kind of, I'd say like 80%. Most of them don't do very well because it's like, it's a little bit immature, I'd say.
Oh, man, I'm thinking of all the. Sorry, I'm thinking way too ahead here. Now somehow you transitioned from here to FNAF.
Yes. So when I was a kid, I still kind of am. I was really big into Five Nights at Freddy's. Huge deal for me as a kid. And so me and my friends, we started a YouTube account called the FNAF Fanatics. And we would...
I'm so glad you're sharing this with everybody.
This is necessary for my like evolution.
Yeah.
We would play the FNAF games on our iPads and we would record them. It'd be 3 of us. And it'd be tutorial videos on how to beat the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 levels on the iPad. And it was unstructured. It was 3 squeakers.
Did you just screen record it?
No, not even. We had the iPad on the ground, And then we would have these pillars of like Legos or something and 2 rulers at the top. And we'd have one of our phones there. And there'd
So
be like
recording the iPad screen.
Yes.
Fantastic.
So we'd be playing like this, like if it's like I'm typing on a keyboard. And just completely no script, no plan. We're going to beat FNAF. And it's 3 little kids just screaming about FNAF. You need to do this. You need to do that. And I love those videos.
Are they still up?
Yes.
Are you going to link drop all these accounts? Or are you going to let us?
You guys can. You totally can.
Okay. We'll put them in the
I think there's a
description.
couple of videos that were live action that I was like, okay, I probably should like unlist that because I don't know if any weirdos online, but the tutorials are still up because it's just like an inside joke and it's just too good, man. Also, I'm just never the kind of guy to delete videos like that. Like even if they're super cringe, I'm like, that was me, dude. Like that was at one point that was me. It's cringe, but it's awesome. So,
and other people kind of probably find it funny.
Oh, they find it hilarious. Like that's always a top 3 conversation I have when I first meet somebody and we start talking about content. I go, FNAF Fanatics, check it out. Okay. 12 subscribers. It's a big deal. We have a video.
People sleeping on them.
Yeah. We have a video where we talk about our favorite animatronics. All right. Like, isn't that interesting?
High pitch voices too, probably.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. Very good.
We all sound the exact same. Like,
like now?
no.
Oh.
No,
you mean all of your voices just mixed together?
Yes. Like I can kind of tell. I used to have like a more country accent, so you can kind of tell me.
Oh God,
apart, but it's just a mess. It's a mess of a video. Terrible thumbnail design too.
Yeah.
Just the classics when you're a kid, you know.
We had
videos.
This was like on my later, like right before I graduated high school. I met this guy, and he's now like my best friend. I actually had him on the show. I'm gonna shout out Dallas. We had I met him and like he told me that he had this YouTube channel with him and like some other guys that I knew at school, and he was like, "Oh, like you should join." Because I told him I'd always want to do a podcast. Like I'd always like wanted to try it, you know, because I'd never done it. And he wanted to do like just this guys talk podcast, total bro, not like Andrew Tate or Joe Rogan.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Like where it's just 2 dudes just talking, man.
Broing out,
Yeah, like you talk about like your favorite, like there's that podcast with those like kids and they just talk about food they eat.
Yeah.
And it's like millions of views.
We talked about, one of our episodes was talking about the best like urinal situations, like you're going in the men's bathroom, what urinal to approach in what situations.
Yeah, it's pretty complex, especially if they don't have like the dividers. Then it's like, oh man,
it's kind of free for all.
But what's so funny about that to me is that like all guys are like on the exact same path. It can be the most confusing or like challenging looking equation where it's like, there's, you have like
there's a right and a wrong answer objectively.
Yeah, and we have so much experience, so we all collectively know where we need to go.
It's like if there's 4 in a row. And one guy is at the one in the middle to the left. You have to go to the one on the far right.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you go middle right, you're a creep.
Yeah.
You're going to probably get murdered if you're the guy who was already there.
Yeah, we probably need to report that guy. So,
or that's like your friend and you want to weird him out a little bit.
Yeah.
That's the one.
It's a bonding moment, you know.
Yeah. Just like reach over. Yeah.
Yeah.
We keep that. I wish we could sometimes I wish we could animate certain clips of it. You just had an animation of that.
Yeah, no. You just give each other like a nice little hug over the shoulder while you're having that time together.
Let me lean on you, bro. Okay. Anyway, so now that we've talked about your YouTube past, let's talk about Opossify, your account. So you have a bunch of different like series. It looks like you have one that seems to be a little bit more popular than the rest.
Yeah.
It's kind of digging up old Steam games you have in your account and like kind of reviewing them and stuff like that. So tell us inspiration for this account and what you've done that has worked.
Okay, so when I first made this account, it was, I believe, early last year.
So this is very new still.
It's a very new account. I typically start getting in the grind of making content when like something in my life happens where I'm like, okay, I need to distract myself. So I was like, we're going to make gaming content. That's what we're going to do. The very beginning, I think I was a little bit scared to do it because I don't really like being on camera. I've never done it before this account. I think, unless I was like super young, but it doesn't matter. And I was like experimenting with like graphic animations, just kind of seeing what I could make. And those did like horrible. So I was like, okay, maybe I should like actually just stop being a baby and just make what I want to make.
Yeah.
And so I bought a green screen, cheapest one I could find on Amazon. And I was like, my friend Will, who's in Japan, maybe he'd be watching. Shout out Will from Japan.
Shout out Will.
My probably best friend. He had introduced me to this game called Yume Nikki, which is like a huge RPG Maker game that's like, it's in this like very, I want to say niche community, but it's in this very specific community.
Right.
And so I was like, all right, I'm going to play it. And I played it. I loved it. And I was like, all right, I'm going to write a script about it. And I just called it I think at that point I did call it the Steam Graveyard, because there's a lot of those accounts that they just kind of talk about video games. It's like, well, I need something.
You need something that differentiates yourself, and it's not just like, let's talk about FNAF for the 15th time.
Exactly. So I was like, we'll call it the Steam Graveyard. I'll just be like, I'm digging up old games that in my Steam library. And honestly, if you watch these videos, they're not very good. I was just kind of getting my foot.
Well, there's a ton of games on Steam.
Yeah,
there's plenty of content.
Yeah, exactly. And my videos were just, stereotypical white guy in front of a green screen. Like that was kind of it. So I was like, all right, we need to start. And those videos did good. But I was starting to get called clones. Like I was a clone of like, I think there's a popular, I think his name's Charlie. And he's another guy that just talks about video games in front of a green screen. He's got kind of interesting editing, maybe a little bit comedic. But I was like, okay, I don't want to be called a clone. All right, I need to do something. Yeah. So I started playing around with effects, and I found the posterize effect, which kind of like blends the pixel colors together. So the lower the effect, the more like it starts trying to blend in with the same color. And I saw a video of somebody mimicking a like old 90s retro game where the limits they had to have, it was like super pixely and super posterized, and like they'd be like frozen, but their mouths would move. Right. Yeah, and it's like kind of uncanny. And so I was like, okay, well, why don't we try doing that? Because it's a little bit weird, and I want to be weird. I'm just going to be honest, right?
You kind of have to be a little bit weird.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to be weird. So yeah, we started doing that. I say we, it's just me, but I started doing that, and those videos did really well.
Yes, the editing style is so unique. I mean, I'm sure there's people who have done things similar and stuff, but like it's so very eye-catching, truly.
Well, first of all, I appreciate that. I have seen a couple people do similar stuff, but they're typically like more like horror. Like they really dive into the uncanniness. I'm like, I just want to talk about video games and just make it kind of weird, right? Like I have these like weird intros now.
Right.
Try to do something that's typically I'd think funny, but sometimes I'm like, I look back on it, I'm like, that wasn't that funny. But sometimes I'm like, you know what? I kind of cooked there. I'm proud of myself for making that.
Should we include an example?
Yeah, we can do that.
I feel like let's take your most popular one. Eder, you include, I'll cue it up here in a second. Include like a clip of like that first one.
Welcome to my Steam Graveyard, the show where I play games that have been rotting away in my library for literal years. Today we're going to be looking at Postal... Oh, you want me to sign this, buddy? What the I'm not signing that. It's such a good song. You can... Dude, it's kind of awesome. Yeah.
Let's roll. How about we roll into something else? You do you do a bunch of other stuff as well on this account besides the Steam Graveyard. You do Dead Game Review. What's the difference between that and Steam Graveyard?
Yeah, so it's actually pretty huge that you brought that up, because that was actually a big reason why I really need to make a difference between Steam Graveyard and Dead Game Review, because people were getting them mixed up. So I was like, okay, we'll make Steam Graveyard this like weird pixely thing. Dead Game Review was probably the first like really successful thing I did, like in terms of like episodic. And the difference is people, like viewers, suggest me games that they think, like multiplayer games that are no longer being supported, or they have very low player base. And I put them on this wheel. And the idea was that the wheel would hook like hook viewers in, so they see the wheel and they're like, oh, I wonder what's going to land on, right? Maybe we'll land on Titanfall 2. I love Titanfall 2 in like, I don't know, 2018 or something. And I just play them. I just play the game, see what's still around. Typically, they were so dead that I couldn't even get anywhere. I mean, nobody played it, so I would just play against bots. So then I would just like kind of dog on the game a little bit, maybe explain why the game died, or I'd be saying stuff like, oh, why would this game die? I mean, some of these games were still great. It's just that the company who made them probably just didn't
ran out of money, couldn't afford it,
or something, yeah. And Steam Graveyard is just games in my personal library that I bought years ago because they were on sale. I found them interesting, but I just don't have time to play them. And I actually do enjoy that series a little bit more because I get to play games that I've wanted to play for years.
So what's a game that, since we're going over dead games and maybe games that are a little bit forgot about, what's a game that is so garbage, but it's so good at the same time?
Brink.
Tell us about Brink.
Brink is also one of my most successful videos. That is probably the worst game I've ever played, but me and my two friends, we had a blast playing it.
Oh, really?
I mean, like the game was just hot garbage. I think it's a PS3 port to PC. So, and it was just janky. I mean, when you lean, it just goes like, it's just so unrealistic. And the dialogue is super corny and the objectives just make no sense. And there's like a class system like with Overwatch, and half the classes are just completely useless.
Oh.
So we just all play as the same character.
Oh.
And it was just such a piece of crap, but it is, I think I ended up giving it like A tier because I did have fun playing it. Some games are just so bad and you're just like, I can't even.
Sometimes the unintentional garbage that a game is its greatest strength because it's so fun because of how absurdly awful it is.
Yeah, and that game is the definition of like the room of games, where it's just like, I can't even, I'm just laughing the entire time playing. Like, I can't believe this is a real thing that I'm experiencing right now. This is a real game. And what makes Brink even better is that it was like kind of a successful game when it first came out on console. So people stayed and saw what I had to say about it. And I think a lot of people agreed for the PC port because it's just such a terrible port. I mean, it is just crap.
Yeah. So I also recognize like the kind of Steam Graveyard. Like, do you get Lethal Company vibes, or is that just me?
Like from the style of the
style,
videos?
yeah. The art style feels very similar.
I would actually agree. I didn't think about that until you just said that, because we played a lot of Lethal Company. Great game.
Fantastic, yeah.
It does have that like weird pixely kind of vibe, and I feel like it might have
sharp
some
edges and stuff.
Exactly, and you know, the pixels move a lot too. Like it's almost like they're shaking sometimes.
Yeah.
It is a very weird vibe. I would say, it is pretty similar, and honestly, might have been unintentional in terms of like how I want it to look, because I played a ton of that game, like probably 88 hours in that game with friends.
That might be like seeping into somebody's brain. They like see like, oh, this is like Lethal Company.
Yeah.
Because I think that Lethal Company was like so funny because it's like the audio sounds garbage. So you hear like your friends screaming when you're in like a room or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like raspy a little bit, you know? It's like
it tries to do proximity chat, and I think it does it pretty well, but it is like, it's just a weird game, man.
Yeah.
And the interactions with your friends, that's like peak gameplay for me. I love stuff like Gary's mod, like just having fun with your friends, and that game being like kind of scary but not super scary just adds in like you're just gonna scream with your friends.
It can be scary.
Oh, it absolutely
can be terrifying.
There's a couple of maps like later on that are more expensive to go to that there's some freaky little critters there.
There's the one, the spring head guy who like,
yes,
if you don't look at him, he'll run
coil
you.
head.
Yeah, the coil head. Yes.
Yeah, he is scary. That guy is horrifying.
Yeah, I vividly remember playing the game, and then me and my friend were stuck, and like here it came, and we're just looking at it, and we're like, someone has to be the sacrifice. And I think my friend just ran, so I'm just like sitting there waiting, and then finally said, I'm gonna try to book it, and it's just like, and I remember my friend told me all I could do was hear me just screaming as like this echoing through like this hallway.
Yeah.
fantastic. Tell me a little bit about kind of your experience on the YouTube Poop account, making those videos. We didn't dive into that a ton. So making those videos, special experiences with that.
Yeah, so this was, I loved Rainbow Six Siege Esports. Very niche community, in my opinion.
Esports, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So I would take, so for most YouTube poops, it's like you take SpongeBob or something. I took Rainbow Six Siege Esports clips that I found funny, and I would just edit them. And I was just doing it for fun. Put it on Twitter one day, and it does really well. YouTube channel starts blowing up. First time I hit 1,000 subscribers was on that account. And because the community is so niche, it's so small that it was, and I don't want to toot my own horn or anything, but for this small account, like I felt like I was kind of well known. I remember the Six Invitational, the biggest event of the year. Like this is like the World Championship, like the Super Bowl, basically.
Okay.
My account got name dropped randomly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I was
like in the broadcast?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Because something silly happened, and they were like, "Oh, that was kind of goofy." And then one of the commentators, he was like, "Yeah, no, Opossums, he's made some good stuff. Like he would probably like that clip." And I was like,
"Wow,
whoa!" Yeah. Like I was watching these.
That's like with 1,000 subscribers too. Yeah, that's not like yeah.
And I was watching I would watch these streams in high school, and like I wanted to get involved with the community, and like to imagine getting name dropped in that was
How did
surreal.
you find out you got name dropped? Were you just watching it and you were just like?
So because I had made some connections within the community, like specifically with the production of a CG Sports. And so when it happened, I was actually doing something, but I got like a bunch of DMs from people going like, "You just got name dropped." Like I was like, "What, really?" Like on stream?
Because that seems like one of those things, like if you didn't know anybody and it was just like, you're just kind of in there, like.
Yeah, and if you're not watching, you would have no idea. So I'm very thankful that some of my friends DM'd me because I would have no idea, and it was really cool.
No.
And that involves this account. Like I'd go to events to see them esports live, and that was the first time I'd ever been recognized, and I kind of wasn't prepared for that because still only have like 1,000 subscribers, but once again, super niche community. So people who watch CG Esports are probably going to watch my videos because it's going to get recommended. And I took a picture with a couple of people and signed a poster.
That's such an endearing moment. Yeah.
I was like taken back. I was like, this is the craziest thing that's ever happened to me.
For YouTube Poop, that's fantastic.
Yeah, no. And I kind of feel bad because my last video, I was like, I'm hungry to make more content. And then that was my last video. And I ended up switching to Opossify because I was like, I kind of got tired of doing it.
Were you like in the videos for the YouTube Poop one or?
No, so I did run a Twitter account, which is how I got recognized because I had this joke on my account where I was like a fan of the worst team. So I was like decked out in their merch and they were the worst team ever. They're not at the event, but I'd be like, "Oh, I'm a huge fan." The team was called Beast Coast. So I was like the Beast Coast guy. So they recognized me. They're like, "Oh, wait, you make those videos." And I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Oh, I need to take a picture with you." Like I'm like, "With me?" Like, okay. Like,
okay.
Yeah. All right. With the YouTube Poop guy? Like, sure.
Oh, I mean, absolutely.
Yeah. So that was like the first taste of success ever. And it's like we said earlier, that is the greatest feeling of all time for me.
Well, I think your current account now, I mean, it's like, YouTube Poop obviously is like, you can't really put yourself into that.
Yeah.
And a big thing with content creation these days is like, not for all people, but like for a lot of, like for your common creator, to be a content creator, you kind of have to put yourself out there.
Yes.
A really good amount. You can't just post the stuff you're comfortable with. I mean, don't post anything crazy. There's another website for that, but like you really have to be kind of like yourself online, and you have to do kind of crazy stuff. But you found a good blend here of like clickbaity, but not like slop.
Yeah. My biggest fear is making pure slop because I hate YouTube Shorts because half of it's just Minecraft parkour with stealing crap from Reddit. That's just not funny.
Brook and Jubal in the morning.
Yeah, and it's like, okay. So that's why I'm working on another reason I'm working on the long form video. It's like gonna be a little bit different because I don't want to just make Steam graveyards over and over again because I feel like it's just gonna get old. It's getting old for me.
You want a thing, but you want to have a thing that lets you explore other creative things, right?
Exactly. I want to expand my horizons. I want to be like
something that keeps growing.
Yeah, I want to evolve, which if you look at my older videos from the same account, I've already evolved quite a bit in my opinion. And Even like how I write my videos, I kind of want to update because I feel like I'm getting a little too like, hey, I'm a YouTuber, and I hate that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's like you want something that doesn't get, you can't be repetitive. It's kind of like this one thing, like, unless you kind of continue to kind of be more creative with your videos. I mean, you mentioned Smosh off camera, and I always mention Smosh all the time because I like when I think like what is a super successful, but like, cause they teeter totter like such a good blend of, cause their audience is so broad.
Yeah.
And I would never say that like Smosh isn't for kids, and I wouldn't say Smosh isn't for adults. I mean, they have such a broad horizon of what they do, and it's all so good. It's genuinely, I mean, there's certain videos I'm sure I'm like not my favorite,
Yeah.
but it's like they do such a good job, and it's always, you know, it's Smosh, it's their style. If that's what you can do with what you do, I think that would be really.
Yeah, that is literally exactly what I'm trying to do, where the main thing is like the word that I'm looking for is like kind of respect, where it's like you build this brand of doing whatever you feel like you want to make, and people will still like it because it's like you have this, you're able to express your vision in this certain way that is just completely original, right? And with Smosh, like they've been evolving for years. I mean, they've been
It used to be Ian and Anthony, and now it's
now it's a
crazy,
bunch of people, and they have like 8,000 accounts, and it's just like, wow. I mean, and they tackle a lot of stuff. Now, I don't watch as much Smosh now as I used to. Like, I watched a lot of the early stuff, like Food Battle Classic. But yeah, it's just, they could just make whatever, they could touch whatever part of culture they wanted to. Like, they made a video about like a horror easy bake oven or whatever it's called. Like, yeah. I'm like, who comes up with that crap? Like only, you know, like it's just, and it's like 10 million views for just something that's just funny and original. And that's something that I really admire. And everyone respects Smosh. Who doesn't respect Smosh? Like they're awesome. Even if you don't like them, you can respect them.
They are, to me, they were what modern like content kind of, because to me, it's like you have them and you have people like Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
Now I watched Mr. Beast when Mr. Beast was like, little lad, you know,
I did too.
Like 10,000 subscriber, you know,
where he would just talk about like YouTuber intros.
Yeah.
I loved Mr. Beast.
It was
when I
great.
was a kid.
And it's like, even when he started to kind of dive into what he does now, it was good because it was like, you could still see him in it, and it was still kind of his style. Because he kind of evolved like one kind of like challenge and kind of made it bigger and bigger. But now it's like gotten to a point where it's like so formulaic.
Yeah.
It is so like, I need X, Y, Z. And respect to him, because clearly he just understands the philosophy and psychology of YouTube and the algorithm. Because there is a way to do the algorithm, but it's like the creative aspect of YouTube that's just made it so charming for so long. You could see it dying, and it's really sad.
We're just like on the same page, because I have felt that way for years.
Oh, yeah.
I respect Mr. Beast, but yes, he is a part of this problem with modern YouTube, where I feel like it's just kind of either Mr. Beast videos where it's just so overproduced, and it's like the independent nature that makes YouTube, the you in YouTube kind of...
the you in YouTube.
Yeah, it's starting to like fade a little bit, and it's the charm, like you said, like it's just kind of dying, or it's just meaningless, like video essays, slop, which I like video essays. There's a lot of good ones.
Great ones.
A lot of creators I respect and that inspire me to this day, but a lot of them are just like 30 minutes of just nothing burgers. And I'm just like, okay, that's a little bit disappointing. You click on a video and it's just them rambling. It's almost like AI generated. And it's like, I mean, it's better than, personally, in my opinion, like the overproduced, like it feels like I'm watching a TV show with Mr. Beast, who actually has his own TV show,
which is quite literally, and like I'm almost like, just leave YouTube, go to Amazon Prime.
Literally,
you know.
I mean, yeah, I would.
And so many creators just follow right in the footsteps of whatever the newest video of his is.
Yeah,
truly.
And you see it in shorts like crazy. And my YouTube Shorts feed, I can't get it to evolve. It's stuck on like...
It's just slop.
It's just stuck on slop of like either AI generated stuff, or it's stuck on like the same cooking video that has like trending music and just all this stuff. And I get it. It's successful. It works. And these people are, you know, they're having a good time doing it. So I'm not going to criticize them for that. But I will always cherish old school YouTube and just ignoring the formulaic nature, which is why I'm actually a little bit antsy on keep making the Steam graveyards, because I'm like, I need to change. Something's got to change, and I've only been doing it for like 3 months. The Steam we're working on that.
I was gonna drop a quote. Growing up, I really had a lot of fascination with Walt Disney. Now, obviously, Disney as a company gets a lot of there's a lot of backlash from both sides. Like, it's funny is from like the more conservative kind of right side, it's kind of more like diving into more woke topics and stuff like that, one might say. And then on the left, it's kind of like that's almost like the exact opposite. Like, I would say neither side is truly happy with Disney, which is very funny. But my point is, there's a really good Walt Disney quote that I always love. It says, Disneyland will never be complete. It will continue to grow as long as there is imagination left in the world. So making something that you can continue to add to, continue to mold, shape, and stuff like that, super awesome.
Yeah, that is a good quote, genuinely. And that is pretty accurate to what I was just saying. Like, I just want to keep adding on. I want to keep the audience on their toes. And I just know that if I'm happy with the end product, then the audience will be, well, for the most part. You can't please them all the time, but I just know that I hate formulaic stuff, repeating, like cookie cutter, rinse and repeat. So I'm not going to do that. We're going to try and change it. Now, obviously, not everything's going to change, but like you said, it's just adding things on to slowly evolve over time. And eventually you won't really necessarily see that evolution, but when you look back, you'll be like, whoa, we've changed quite a bit,
Right. Is there anything you would like to say to people in your similar situation, somebody looking to start a YouTube channel or learning how to edit, stuff like that? Is there anything you want to leave the viewer?
Absolutely. So do not give up. I know that's like what everyone says, but as we talked about with my other accounts, you can't just make 2 videos and then just be like, we're done. Okay, this account that I'm on right now that is starting to grow a little bit, the first video I ever made was this graphic animation, kind of weird, surreal thing. Nobody knows about it. I uploaded it. I woke up the next day thinking it was going to get like 1 million views because I'm just, I guess, an egotist. I don't know. I don't do that anymore, but it got no views, no likes on any platform, right? You just have to just keep trying. There's nothing wrong with trying, okay? And if you're worried about and just make things that speak to you, right? I cannot stress, learning things like Adobe Premiere Pro is hard, but I haven't taken like any professional classes for it. Just use YouTube. YouTube is a great tutorial for that stuff. Use DaVinci. DaVinci's free. And just make whatever the heck you want, man. Anything. Like, just whatever speaks to you. And if it does bad, it does bad. You just gotta, if you really want to succeed, you just gotta keep trying. That's just part of the game. And it's a brutal part of the game. You'll make something you're really proud of and won't do well, but it's just because the algorithm hasn't found you yet. You haven't found your audience. It requires time. Some people get lucky, some people don't, but just don't be like people like my friends who are like, well, I wanted to get into it, but it just seems too hard. And I get that maybe you don't have time, but don't be afraid to start. It doesn't matter where you are. You can start whenever you want for free and just express yourself. I mean, seriously.
True.
But yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining and being on the show. I think it's always cool to have different people. This is our first, I would say, true YouTube content creator. So there you go, opening up a window of people. It's always cool to see how the network kind of opens up after you have certain people on, and to see you're now officially a part of the creators table. So there you go.
Let's go, dude. That's awesome.
Thank you guys for listening to this episode of the podcast. If you are looking for any links or if you're looking to find more episodes like this, please go follow the creators table or subscribe, like, comments, do what you can. And if you're looking to find Opossify's links, they're going to be in the description of this video or recording. Other than that, we can say bye to our viewer here. Goodbye. Have a nice day.
Bye-bye.